Right, what's up, worldwide family? Welcome back to the channel. Jimmy Flipping Deals, back at it again. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's see where we at. I don't know what day it is. I barely know what time it is. My days and nights are upside down, and that's okay because I'm a full-time reseller. I don't have to show up anywhere at any given time. It's just hustle, and hopefully that makes enough money to make it all happen, right? Another day on my journey where I'm for the first time in a long time. For those that have been keeping up with me, there is more room in this card now than there has been in the better part of a year, and that absolutely feels awesome. Matter of fact, the trunk is clear. The back seat is down to a sleeping bag. There's some more stuff in there, but I'm actually down low enough to the level that I see a sleeping bag that I have not seen in a year. Oh my goodness. This death pile inside of the car would not stop, and it's finally going away. I've got packing paper, a roll of packing paper that I bought literally at Christmas sitting in here that I need to bring into the house. If you're not a reseller, you don't understand any of that. If you are, I think it makes perfect sense. Maybe not logical sense, but you've been there at least once. So I'm getting cleaned up here, so I'm feeling a lot better about that. Matter of fact, I don't know if I said, I got a full 27-gallon tote in the front seat that actually fits in the front seat, full of return stuff that it's just not going to suit my purposes, right? For whatever reason, you know, there was several things that I got charged full price for that I shouldn't have. So I want to take those back and get the credit back for those. There were several things that had imperfections and stuff that I didn't see when I initially bought them. So those are going to go back. Now, in all honesty, I do not take things back just because they don't sell. I've heard people that do that. I don't do that. I'm not looking necessarily down at it, but I do believe in establishing relationships with the people that are in the stores and creating extra work for them by buying a whole bunch of stuff and then bringing it back is not a good look. Matter of fact, regardless, without regard to any of those previous statements, generally when I return, I go to one of the stores that's outside of my normal stomping grounds. I just do it. It makes me feel better about things. There is one in the city that my dad lives in that I do consider to be outside of my stomping grounds, even though I am there once a week. It's not like once a day. And in all honesty, last year, let's preface this. A couple videos ago, last video, something like that, I mentioned how my pettiness overrode mathematical sense. So I have admitted that I am petty. And last year sometime, last winter, not the one that just passed, but the one before that, this particular store frustrated me. And knowing how sales how returns counteract sales for their sheet, their balance sheet, I bring all my returns generally back to that one location. So everything I buy at every store imaginable, when I do bring things back, which is once in a blue moon, I make sure and take it back there. So again, being petty, I'm not petty at all. It was one of my ex-bosses or old bosses, however you want to say that, used to say when I would share stories like that, well, you're not petty at all now, are you? No, not really. I just, it is what it is though, right? So I'm taking that stuff back. I only took about half of what I had. I am told by one of the Walmart employees that without a receipt, and they can link everything to my cards, but without a receipt, they can, at their discretion, only approve about $100 worth of stuff. So I loaded up about $100 worth of stuff, and I'm bringing it back. I do anticipate that they'll be able to pull them off my receipts and whatnot. So I don't think I would be limited to $100. I just didn't want to have an issue. And these were actually the bulk of it. There were some things like 3 packs of underwear that only had 2, but in all honesty, I got those so cheap. When there was an imperfection in one, I've been thinking about just doing bulk lots of, I've got 8 pairs of women's panties that are size large, this cut, and selling them off rather than returning them, because regardless, without regard, whatever, irregardless, whatever, there's still money there, right? It's not the 3-pack the way that the company made them, but I see people all the time lock things together that are new or whatnot, and for all that matters, you could even be fully transparent about the imperfections on the one and say, hey, there's 6 of them and one of them's not great, but they're all new. There you go. So I think that is more likely what I'm going to do with some of that stuff. But things that I was supposed to have gotten charged $3, but they charged me $16. I am bringing those back because I do want my money back for those. There was what do you call that? It's got Superman and Wonder Woman and all those. I think is it Marvel or is it DC? Whatever. Anyway, it's a pack that was supposed to be 5, but I think they charged me 25 for. So I'm bringing that back. Just different things, but it's part of the business, and it's part that I don't get into a whole lot. I know I've been working my tail end off here lately, trying to set myself up for the best possible success with all of this newfound time that I have on my hands. For those that don't know, I've recently started to be a full-time reseller rather than a part-time reseller that holds down a full-time job. The balance beam, I don't know that necessarily that it flipped, but it was close enough to flip it to be able to go ahead and make a move on it. I definitely did not want to lose the kind of money that I was making. However, I am gaining 50 to 60 hours a week, and I was almost making as much in a few hours in the evening and the weekends as I was, and it took more than that sometimes. I'll be totally honest with you. Matter of fact, I was starting to take vacations, extra vacations, just to get the work done. But long story short, I was making almost as much in my off time and my part time as I was my full-time job. And something that I heard one of the guys on YouTube say, I believe it was Richie Hustles, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the figures exactly, but somebody had asked him, when are you gonna let I think he was making $100,000 a year, when are you gonna let $100,000 a year job stop a $1 million company? How long are you gonna allow that to happen? Are you still thinking with a $100,000 mindset, or do you need to think with a $1 million mindset? I don't recommend someone going zero to that train of thought, flipping from one to the other. That's a gradual adjustment. I've seen people that they'll go full tilt on something and say, hey, people are making millions at this. I just need to quit my job and go do this. Please don't do that. It's absolutely the wrong move for 99% of people. But I did work this business for right at a year and a half before I made that decision. And I was tired of the sleepless nights, I guess you could say, or lack of sleep. I was tired of the hustle of both, and compromising the quality of either because of the other. It just wasn't a good play. There were times during Christmas that I could not show up to work on time. There just was. And they never got on to me about it. Matter of fact, they even told me they were going to be lenient with me on the schedule because they understood the company overall on the majority of the way they handled the whole situation was great. But I will say them withholding, they did withhold or at least are trying to withhold my vacation on me because I didn't give proper notice before I took it. It would be nice if they would pay what I already earned. I earned that stuff, they ought to pay me. So, but short of that, the way they handled 95% of the rest of it was awesome. It really was. And the 3 weeks vacation that I had coming that I still haven't received, that I might not receive, I guarantee you this time next year I won't remember that time anyways. That money, it's a drop in the bucket long term, right? So it is what it is. I'm still not done pursuing it because I think that kind of money is worth some amount of effort to recuperate, right? But short of that, let me see what else. Business has been absolutely outstanding overall, especially unit count, not necessarily dollar count. And I know you can't take units to the bank, you take dollars to the bank, but the dollars have been good enough too. Not only good enough to pay for my very conservative living on a daily basis, like what's my daily cut. That's the way I look at it to measure where I'm going. I don't look months, I look days, and at any rate, on a daily rate, it's taking care of all my pay, it's taking care of all the taxes associated with my pay, and this is the super important part, even at this stage in the business, during the slow months of the year, I am still building the business. I will say much slower than I was when I had a full-time income that was paying the bills. But I went from nothing to where I was within a year and a half, and I know, oh, I need gas. I'm pulling up to a gas station to get my coffee, and I realized that I need gas, so that's where I need to go. But anyway, within short order, by Christmas this year, if not beforehand, I will be right back to where I was with the business. And I do anticipate, in all honesty, as far as the level of being able to build the business, I do anticipate, in all honesty, that happening much, much faster. Having an additional 50 hours a week, it's hard to calculate the impact of that, but I know it's just huge in all reality. I'll be right back. Hey, I'm not sure how long the pause button holds, so hold on. All right. The thing kind of like vibrated on me when I hit it. Uh-oh. Which one? That one's old. I gotta get rid of one of these. I'll be right back. All right, here we go. But yeah, absolutely flooring what the business is doing, even in the slowest part of the year. And I hear some people that are having the same reactions. I know that other people are having very slow times. So for those that are slow, I hope that works itself out. I know ultimately, I'm not saying anything new, but it goes to having desirable products at a reasonable price, right? And I know sometimes there's other forces that will, like the wonderful eBay algorithm or whatnot, but at any rate, I hope it improves. So, but yeah, no, I mean it's roughly 11 a.m. for the day, and I've almost already made my daily bills. And technically I shouldn't even be up at this hour compared to where my sleep schedule has been over the last few days. I've kind of worked the clock around and then slept the clock around. Where are you going, bro? All right. But yeah, no, the business is building. That's a beautiful thing. Let me see what else. Packages. I did forget to do my pickup, so I put a nice little note in the mailbox begging my postal carrier to reach into the box and grab the outbound. Do actually have some UPS that's supposed to go out, that could have gone out today, but it's going to wait till tomorrow. I actually have 3 business days from today to get it done. Mercari sale, it was a bat. Awesome profit on that one. It was a nice find, but at any rate, I mean, that was a huge sale. Let me see, what else do I got? I'm going to see my dad. I did go thrifting yesterday. The amount of clearance in my area right now for, I'm predominantly retail arbitrage, but the amount of clearance that's available on the shelves right now is limited. And I know there's buku bucks to be made on the thrift side. It's just not something I do. Oh, this guy's flying. Go ahead and let him fly past me and then do what I gotta do. But anyway, I know there's a lot of money on that. I just generally don't do it because for me, it feels like I have to go looking more. But I know it's there. I know it's valuable. There are some different nuances to it that I've taught myself before, but I'm having to reteach myself from time to time. Case in point, yesterday I went to 3 different stores. I didn't do great, but I did decent. I ended up with half a dozen pairs of pants and several shirts. And in my area, Goodwill, and I didn't just go to Goodwill. I did do 2 Goodwills, but Goodwill's just outrageous. You know, I was looking at one pair of shoes and I couldn't find the price tag on them, and I went, oh, these ought to be interesting, and they wanted $40 for them. And I think new they're like 70. Now, in all fairness to Goodwill, they still look like they might be new, but or fairly new rather. But you know, there's so many unknowns about buying used stuff. I just, you know, maybe in my little town, maybe they'll go, but I really see them sitting on the shelf for quite some time. So I would have liked to grab the hold of them, but I wasn't able to get them. One of the shirts that I picked up, I didn't look at it close enough. Turned out it had a tear on one of the sleeves, and I thought I looked at that darn thing. But I mean, these are not huge pickups, guys. They're like, you know, probably $7 to $10 a piece profit, but on a, you know, $5 expense on most of them. But I lost out on the one shirt for sure. One of the other shirts had 2 little bitty spots on it that I didn't see. I think they're going to sell, and I think it's going to sell for profit anyway. The one that's cut up, I'm not putting that for sale. It's just a little bitty cut, but still, I see people buy all kinds of crazy used stuff, you know, and it is cheaper than anything. But I'm not the guy. So at any rate, the one that has 2 little spots on it, I mean, they're little pinpricks of spots, so I'll put those in the listing and I'm going to send it out. I definitely should still pull profit on that. The pants, though, I really think that those are where it's at on this one. I mean, I was picking up $5 slacks that are good brands. They used go for about $30 a piece. And, you know, even I am a little shameless, no shame, whatever. I will throw a pair of men's pants into a flat rate envelope. I will. They fit. They're gonna take them to cleaners anyway, so off they go. So anyway, 5, 8, 13. in it, break even at right about 15, and the $30 pairs of pants. Of course, the commission goes up as the price goes up, but break even right at 15. And so for 30, I'm at least pulling what, 10 or $11 probably a piece. Not too shabby when everything's said and done. So beautiful, and yeah. So I couldn't find anything in the retail, so I hit the thrift. I will hit both Walmart and Goodwill over here. There was a thrift store that I hit, a local one, a new one, where all of the pants were $1. But I was getting tired, in all honesty. I picked up a few pairs of pants, and then I just ran out of steam. So their girls' jeans was a nice couple round racks. You know, the walk-around one's full, and I just didn't take the time to look at them. I should have. Either that or just bought them all, but we know that's not the right choice either. Of course, at $1, I'm not sure I could have gone wrong. You got to factor in the time that it takes to process. But let me see where else. I will hit that one again. And short of that, man, I have been just listing. I know these 50 hours are going to benefit the business so much. I think that's about it for the day, guys. I really do. Hope y'all are doing good. Drop something in the comments section. Say hi, say what's up. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. All those things that I'm supposed to say at the beginning of the video, y'all always catch them at the end, which reminds me, to my kids out there, to my family out there, I love you. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye.